Hey guys,
Good afternoon, everyone. Today I will talk about the Vietnamese traditional dress, the áo dài. I would like to give you information about the description of the áo dài, the history of the áo dài, and how the áo dài is used in the current Vietnamese society today. I still remember the old days as my village. Starting at grade 9, the school girls wore the white áo dài for their daily uniform. Looking at them in the white beautiful dresses made me dream of wearing this fascinating dress one day. Finally, I could wear the áo dài when I reached grade 9. I was very happy because the áo dài made me feel very special. So the áo dài is not only a part of my culture, but it was also an important part of my childhood at school. For all of you to understand more about the áo dài, I will first talk about the description of the áo dài, and then the history of the áo dài, and finally I will talk about how the áo dài is used in the current Vietnamese society. First, I would like to give you some description about the unique feature of the áo dài. The áo dài is the Vietnamese national costume. It's a tight-fitting silk tunic worn over long silk pants for both Vietnamese men and women in the past. At that time, the people just used the simple colors like black and white to make them. The áo dài had two special flaps, the front flap and the back flap, extending from the belt area to the feet. Also, the buttons of the áo dài don't go down the neck, don't go down in the middle of the dress like in normal dresses, but they go from the neck diagonally to the armpit and then down to the waist. Also, the top of the áo dài has a straight up collar. Second, I would like to give you some information about the history of the áo dài. The history that started many years ago. According to the website WRILE.com, Long Dress Áo dài Vietnam, the beginning image of the áo dài with two raised full panel, with both two images engraved on the face of the bronze drums thousands of years ago. However, the current beautiful áo dài had to undergo a developing process which was formed in the age of Nguyễn Phúc called Lord. The dress was born in the 18th century, although its initially was very primitive. The most popular period of the áo dài was from 1960 to 1975 in the South Vietnamese government. At that time, the áo dài had many different designs, combined with 2 panels or 4 or 5 panels, without the collar or with collar. But in 1976, after the North Vietnamese government took over the South Vietnamese, the áo dài disappeared because of its expense for a new Vietnamese independent country that was very poor. But then in the late 1978, the áo dài experienced a revival again and continue into nowadays. So finally, how is the áo dài used for the Vietnamese society today? At this moment, the áo dài is still popular in Vietnam. It's commonly is worn by Vietnamese women in some universities and public schools on female teachers wear the áo dài to teach, and the school girls from grade 9 to 12 wear the white áo dài for their daily uniform. Also, the áo dài can be seen on the special day of the Vietnamese wedding. On this day, the Vietnamese brides will wear the red or pink color áo dài, which are symbol for their luck and happiness of their marriage. The groom can wear the áo dài or no if they want to. Also, in some Vietnamese companies are still using the áo dài like official uniform for their female employees. In conclusion, I just introduce you some of information about the áo dài. I hope, such as how it looks like, its history, and how it's used in the current Vietnamese society today. I hope you understand a little bit about Vietnam and its tradition, and wish you have a chance to visit Vietnam and you can see all of its unique cultural features. Thanks for your listening.